taking some big waves in here from all the boats, so I'm trying to make sure I'm running into them straight, as there's not much sidewall for a wave on this thing to take. Now, if that isn't somewhat poetic, even out here there's beautiful flowers. I bought a skeg for the bottom of this Oru Kayak Lake, and it apparently makes it better than it would be without. This is what I'm going to call a white bread adventure. Both of my recipes that I'm going to do while I'm out here have white bread as a necessary component. I'm out here leaving Bing's Landing right now. It's over there somewhere, and trying to escape the sounds of motorcycles, but those sounds are still in the distance, plus the sound of speedboats. So we're gonna see what kind of adventure we can have today, and hopefully not take any unnecessary swims. We're experiencing a king's tide currently, so some of this would be a little less underwater at this time of year, but most of this is not land. So I'm going to keep heading up and see if I can find a spot to camp. That's what I'm looking at here, trying to find land, and every piece of land I run into seems to have somebody on it. So I'm going to keep on keeping on. I'm hoping when I leave in the morning it'll be less turbulent out here. There's a lot of boats. A lot of boats means a lot of waves. Sure would be nice if there was a break in the boats. This isn't even high tide yet, so I don't know where the water is going to stop at on some of these islands. I'm trying to find a spot I camped at once before, but even then I just made a mental note of it and didn't really pay attention how far away it was. That looks promising up there, but we'll check it out as we get closer. Looks a little bit higher than some of these smaller islands out here, and I definitely want some height when the tide comes in tonight. I don't want to be sleeping in the kayak. By the way, Oru Kayak, that's something you guys can work on, the Oru Kayak sleeping cabin. Time to play gator, not a gator. If you guessed not a gator, you are correct. All right, I think I found a suitable location. I'm gonna be camping over there in that little hammock. I don't know if you can see it. So right here is where I came in on the kayak, along this little beach here, and didn't have much water in the kayak other than what was leaking out of my cooler. But walk you over here and show you where I'm gonna be camping. I'm gonna set up camp over here. And hopefully while I'm filming this, the waves don't take my kayak out to sea. But, here is going to be my home base. This looks like the flattest area here, and hopefully, I don't know, sometimes the tide comes up way up there. Hopefully I'll be safe here though. We'll see. If it starts to come up too close, I'll just push further into the woods. There's still a hill behind me that I can camp at. This is one of the good parts, or the bad parts, depending on how you look at it, of camping in the wild, is people leave their trash behind, but something like this could be useful. I'm just hoping it doesn't belong to a hockey mask wielding madman. So the little caveat to this adventure today is I've seen people do $100 Walmart challenges, $100 Costco challenges. I've never seen anybody do a $100 Ross challenge. So that's what I'm doing. My gear that I'm going to be using here costs right at $100. Actually less because I didn't bring the collapsible water bottle. Or did I? It might still be packed in there, but it's not going to be filled with water. Yeah, so with the exception of my $400 Oru Lake kayak, thousands of dollars of filming equipment, my gun, with the exception of a few things, is a $100 survival challenge. It's really what I'm going to be sleeping in and what I'm going to be sleeping with. The gear I'm going to be carrying and using in the videos all will be Ross stuff, but Ross doesn't have a kayak or film equipment, so I'm not counting any of that stuff. So we'll see how this goes. It's going to be a struggle for me because I like glamping, and this is not glamping. I don't have a net for the mosquitoes, so hopefully the mosquitoes aren't bad here tonight. We'll see. I will be showing some of that equipment in a little bit, but first things first, I'm going to grab some firewood off the ground. There's not much here, a lot of palm stuff, but I'm not going to need any real wood for what I'm doing today. I brought a little stove for twigs and stuff, so little pieces of palm will probably do just fine. Alright, I'm going to grab some wood, then I'll be back. Got these guys all over the place. I am attempting to avoid them sincerely. Here's something you don't get to see every day. Ouch! I got this private beach to myself here, unless somebody else shows up and camps on top of me. I hope that's not the case. Gotta have some camp etiquette. I'm betting at high tide this is not here. So I'm going to take a walk to the end of it while it is. Get a look at the backside of my island. I don't see a name for this island on the map. If I did, I'd let you know what it's called. But I'll put a pin up of where it is so you can see its approximation to Bing's Landing where I left. Quite a bit of drop off here. This is barely out of the water. A little channel between here and the next island over. Can't wait till the boats calm down. It'll be a whole lot more peaceful out here. The birds were just making some noise and I pulled out the camera to get it in action, and then the boats started coming again. Check this out. Yeah, the snail cruising along. Don't worry, buddy, I don't eat snails. You are safe from me. Another little critter. These in there good. He ain't coming out. Taking a moment to appreciate the noises of nature. You can go outside and you can try to get back in touch with nature, but people make noise everywhere they go, so it's going to be few and far between moments like this. Followed by a motorboat or an airplane. Just fell into nature's booby trap, the hollow shoreline. I won't be taking that route around. We'll go back the long way. And here we have a wild coffee bush. Apparently this is a alternative source for caffeine. I've never had it. But apparently you can brew this up somehow. I'll have to look into it. This too is also growing all over this island, but in little patches. Well, that's something I wasn't expecting to see. I just startled a rabbit over here in this patch of woods. I wasn't expecting to find anything like that out here. I'm just looking around exploring the island and spooked a rabbit. Imagine, if you will, that you're a recovering alcoholic and you wash up on this island and you come across this. A full can of beer, unopened. Of course, if you are just an alcoholic, then that's probably a good omen. Yeah, let's not get into that. Alright, so this is what we got here. This is the bag I chose. It's not really a hiking bag, but it served the purpose. This DC Shoe Co. Pretty sturdy backpack, probably more meant for school stuff, but it's working for what I'm doing here today. And I'm going to get it unpacked, and I'm going to put up the tarp and see if I know how to put up a tarp shelter as much as I think I do. So I'm taking the skeg off of the kayak so I can sit it flat next to me as a sort of wind and critter block. Here's some evidence if you didn't know I have cats. You put anything down for 2 minutes and they got to sharpen their claws on it. So luckily that's just a yoga mat I'm using for a sleep pad tonight, and not an inflatable or my tarp, because they would do it just as easily at either of those. These are some cool little Velcro wraps I got to hold together this yoga mat so it didn't come unspooled on me while I was trying to carry it in the boat. I think they were like $1.99 or something. I'll put the price on the screen. We'll tally it up as it goes, as I mention and use. But I'm going to unroll this for my bed mat and test it out. This is the wind tunnel I'm going to be living in for the night. Sleeping next to my Oru Kayak. And sweating until the temperatures cool down. It's supposed to get to 65 tonight, so it'll be bearable. Got a nice breeze blowing through here right now though, so that's helping. But man, it is hot out in the sun. So my emergency plan as it stands is, if the tide keeps coming up, I just roll over into my kayak. It's amazing how tiring doing nothing is. As my granddad would often say, I think it's time for a siesta. If you watch my old videos, you've seen this before. This is my old twig stove. If I can remember how to put it together. I've done it so long. I'll just put that there to catch the ashes. Good morning. We survived the night. It was a little rough. A few bugs tried crawling into bed with me. Big bugs. Wasn't pleasant. Plus lots of ticking bugs. I think they're palmetto bugs. Yeah, that, and I had some critters come visit in the middle of the night to try and steal food, so it's a busy night. And it's funny, I was talking about what was I talking about? I was talking about proof that you have a cat. Well, this here was my choice of pillow from the Ross Challenge. It's called a Squashmallow or something. Well, it's not much of a pillow, but it will suffice. But the funny thing is last night, as I got in here, put my blanket on me, put my pillow under my head, I could smell the Sphinx cat we have at home, Mando, on it. When they're really cleaned up, they smell kind of like a newborn baby. It's weird. But the first day that I brought the Squashmallow home, he was running around with it, had it in his mouth, and dragging it all over the house with him like it was his. I had to take it from him so he didn't get it too smelly. Anyways, the sun's rising. So it's about time for me to get my butt up out of bed. Even though it was a rough sleep, got plans to get out of here at a certain point, so try to keep them plans. Oh, and man, does cowboy camping kill my hips. It's like old Shakira says, the hips don't lie. Bring plenty of padding, kids. It's a cool 65 degrees this morning, which is making it hard to get out of bed under this warm little throw blanket. It's kind of toasty, so yeah, I just don't want to get up. I didn't sleep well last night. Aside from the bugs and the critters, really strong winds blew in last night, and I thought I was going to lose my tarp at one moment. It was slapping so hard in the wind, snatching up and down. It was pretty crazy. I thought at one point there's no way it's going to stay through the night. So I got to find some motivation to get up. But this is just too warm and comfy, despite the fact that I'm sleeping on the hard-ass ground. I'm starting to understand that maybe it wasn't palmetto bugs all night that were snuggling up with me. He's gonna be tough. He wants a fight. right, headed home. Saying goodbye to the island. Goodbye, island. I just saw a monster boat come by through here and made waves that I don't think this boat would take. So I'm hoping there's no more like that because I don't want an impromptu swim. That would be my preference. Speaking of a monster boat, that's gonna put out some monster waves. Well, that bird caught him a fish. Boy, here comes them waves. That wasn't too bad. It's easier to take the boat waves nose on than it is from the side. From the side you get all jiggly in your kayak. You don't want to get jiggly in a kayak. Gotta cross this large body of water before a boat comes along and decides to sink me. I should say this large channel of water. We got a critter up ahead. Look like a cormorant. Oh, no, we got a dolphin. Or a shark and a school of fish feeding. I believe that was a shark. Usually dolphins don't sit there and turn circles in the same area. Ain't that damnedest thing. Florida, you got sharks, you got alligators hanging out in the same bodies of water. This is why you don't swim in the wild here unless you're brave and young. Or stupid. Or stupid and young. Almost camped here last night, but I saw all the trash up on the island there in the fire pit. Plus I think there are some people hanging out in a boat here. It's kind of hard to record when you got people talking in the background, playing music, talking about NASCAR. Well, that's the end of this adventure. It was a little bit rougher coming back in than it was going out. The tide shifted on me because I ran out of time. I intend to redo the 2 cooking videos because it's hard to do in an uncontrolled environment like that. And I forgot how much trouble that toe beat twig stove was. It's really hard to keep going unless you have like a stack of 3-inch cut hardwood to keep it going. Yeah, so we're gonna end it there, and I'm gonna enjoy the air conditioning and the drive back home. And that's all, folks.